I just see that there's two components. One is it was going to go this way anyway. Like it was just going to go online. But secondly, now it's a land rush. And whoever gets the good computer and the good microphone and the good setup first is going to make a lot of money.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hi, and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. My name's Rick Nusky. I am the host, and I am sitting here trembling with excitement today because I have somebody very, very special on the show with us today, Mr. Philip Galinsky. Welcome to the show, Philip.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. My pleasure, must I say. I noticed your bio, and it just blew me away. And for everybody who is on the call with us today, the core of today's call is about voiceover work and how that you can become part of this industry working from home. But before we do that, Philip, I always take time to learn more about you. Now, you and I were just talking before the call about doing repairs around the home and how things have been pretty much locked down for the last 6 months. And I'd love to talk a little bit more about how that's affecting you personally. But let's wind back even further because I want to learn about you when you were growing up, where you lived, what you loved doing, and how was it that you got to be involved as an actor and a voiceover artist up to today?
Okay, so I grew up in Connecticut, and I'm the youngest of 5 boys, so no sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So acting became a survival tool in order to eat. If you have 4 older brothers, they kind of take all the food. You gotta look like you're hungry and act like you're hungry if you want to eat. So that was part of the beginning of it. And then let's see, I knew I was funny, but I didn't know what that meant. So when I was in high school, you get class clown and then you get suspended. And I was like, I don't want to do that thing. That's not funny. Getting suspended is not funny. So I listened to my parents, and I started just telling stories from experiences that I had, and they were really funny, and they were funny because they were real. So that was just the beginning of what I was doing. And then I would see different performers that I really liked, that it was hard to describe why you were attracted to them. Like Robin Williams was just incredible, right?
Yeah,
it's just like
absolutely.
you can't, like my parents were like, why is this weirdo staring at Mork and Mindy? And I'm like, it's not Mork and Mindy. It's this dude, man. This dude is crazy. Like this dude is on a totally another level of what's going on. So I was just would remember experiences and then try to tell them. So that my biggest conflict when I first started was I didn't see myself as a comedian, right? So I like comedians, but I didn't see myself as a comedian because I wouldn't get on stage and say, hey, airline food. And you know what I mean? Like I didn't. Yep. So I had more stories and more like having a beer with a guy and going, yeah, you're funny, man. And at that time, we didn't have the podcasts and all the stuff where they let you develop a style and hear a voice and like a cadence and like a timing. So like, I started seeing like when Lewis Black started blowing up, I was like, that's it. He's just telling a story.
Yep.
And he gets frustrated, he gets angry, and you see it and you like it. And in the old days, it was, the rule of 3, set up, punch, boom, right? So it took me a long time to kind of hone the craft. But once the I wouldn't even say barriers. I said once it was more accepted, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So like I had done a one person show about my life as a theater producer, actor, writer, voiceover artist. And the main crux of it was that I'd been auditioning to get on Law and Order for 20 years, right? If you're a New York actor, that's what you do. Like all my LA friends are like, you suck. You didn't even get on Law and Order. That's the only show there. Like
that's
what?
The pinnacle.
Right. And I'm like, I've been auditioning. It's not like I haven't. So I set up the show. It's all good. And I actually book a Law and Order. So I have to now change the entire ending of the show. Because the ending was that I'm still grinding, I'm still going for it. So the ending of the show is I run downstairs to the lobby of my apartment to my mailbox because the episode runs, and the mail lady's down there, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm checking the mail." She's like, "No one checks their mail. Like, what are you getting in the mail?" I'm like, "Well, what do you do down here?" She's like, "Yeah, I just wait around 20 minutes and then I leave." Because she literally has nothing in her bag. There's like no mail. So I go, I booked a Law and Order, Law and Order SVU, and it just ran, and they're going to send me a check because it's coming today. So she looks at me and she's like, Law and Order. I was like, yeah, Law and Order SVU. She goes, that show's still on?
Thanks very much.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I love this. Learning more about the person behind businesses and the person behind the screen. In this case, it's just such a wonderful perspective to get an actor's perspective of what it's like to be behind that screen, being that person going through the motions and acting. What was it like for you to step onto a stage of such significance?
To be to be on Law and Order is like, it's like the tattoo. Like you got a tattoo on your arm. You're part of like something.
The crew.
Like, yeah, man. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, man. And I have another great story that was in the show. So I booked a Law and Order. My agents are happy, and they're like, congrats. And so can I say a kind of curse word, but not a bad
Absolutely.
one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to. So this section of the show, when I'm telling this story, is called "I'm Not a Dick, but Dick Things Happen to Me." So I booked a Law and Order. I get my email with my instructions, and they say, okay, you're going to go up to the Upper West Side. You're going to get into a van, and then they're going to take you to Yonkers, where the auto mechanic garages, because I play an auto mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, cool. So I get up there early, and I see a van, and I get into the van, and I sit in the back of the van because I'm not a dick. You know what I mean? Like a dick would sit in the front of the van and have people crawl over you or whatever. Yes. So I sit in the back of the van, and the van fills up, and it's all filled up, and the driver, looks in the rear view, and he goes, okay, this is the van for extras only. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong van. So I raise my hand and I'm like, I'm in the wrong van. I'm sorry. I have a speaking role. And like all the extras are looking at me like, what a dick. Like, wait, trying to build your self-esteem? Yeah. So I'm crawling over all these extras to get out of the van, right? So I get into the other van, and the other van is black. They're both black. Like, there's no way I could have known.
You could have known. No discernible differences.
Right. So I get in the other van, and now all the lead actors are like, what a dick. You got into the wrong van. And I'm like, I'm not a dick. I swear to you, I'm not a dick. And so we get to the location to shoot, and, everybody piles out of the van, and the extras kind of like are circling me. It's kind of like Lord of the Flies. They already assume I'm a dick, so they're just like circling around me, and I'm just like, I was like, I swear to you, I'm not a dick. And all of a sudden, the director on the megaphone, Philip Galinsky, and I'm like, yeah. Oh, sir, your trailer's right over here. So I had to walk through the extras to get to my trailer, which I didn't know I was going to get a trailer. And as I walked by, they're like, dick, what a dick. And I'm like, I'm walking into the trailer going, I'm not a dick. I swear to you, I'm not a dick. So we do my scene, and it's me and the two lead characters, and we do it really, it was great. We finished at like 3:00. And so all of a sudden the mood on the set changes because everybody thinks we're leaving early. Right. And they're like, Philip, you're released, did a great job, blah, 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 blah. The extras have to stay for some continuity shots. And now they're pissed again. So the driver comes up to me and he goes, I'm driving back to the city. I can take you. It's 3:00. There's not going to be any traffic. It's going to be perfect. And he said, just you and me. We just drive back. And I said, oh, that's cool. I said, where you drop the van off? He said 23rd Street. And I said, I live literally like 3-4 blocks away. Can you just drop me off at my house? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. All the extras are like, door to door, dick, you're a dick. Throwing bananas, craft services, food. I jump in the van and I'm like, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here.
Riot.
Yeah.
That's just a wonderful story. Thank you so very much. That's the thing about this. I love to have a good, hearty conversation about real world experiences. So thank you so much for sharing that. I know that you've been involved with Comedy Central and a whole heap of other events, let's call them. What was that like, being part of Comedy Central? Because that's massive.
It was really like, when you book a job with like Comedy Central or NBC or any major network, what I didn't realize was it took me a second, but it was the relationships you were building, because everybody was part of something pretty darn big. You know what I mean? Like at the moment you don't think so because you're shooting a commercial or a promo, but you don't know where that person's going to be in 3 or 4 years. You don't know where you're going to be in 3 or 4 years. And if they're all, the way I look at it, if they're all, trying to motivate and move their career, at a certain point, they're going to come back to you. So like when I did, when I got to be the lead kidnapper on Grand Theft Auto 5, I didn't have to audition for it. The guy who ran their voiceover department used to be my voiceover agent. And then they just moved over to Rockstar Games to run Rockstar Games. So he called me and said, I want you to come in. And I said, what am I auditioning for? He's like, no. You don't have to audition. I was like, whoa, okay.
Awesome.
He's like, you're gonna be the lead kidnapper. I can't tell you the game. I can't tell you who you're kidnapping until the game comes out. And I said, I don't care, So I get in the studio and we start doing all the stuff. And then I realize I'm listening and I'm like, that's Jonah Hill. I'm kidnapping Jonah Hill. Am I kidnapping Jonah? Shut up. Shut it.
Just do the work. Shush.
Right. Right. So, and the director was this crazy English guy that was just letting me improvise. So it was really fun because there's a lot of dialogue that is not in the script that, like, if I see a teenage boy, I can do a little bit of what I did, and they'll be like, oh my God, that's you. You're the dude. You're the kidnapper. I'm like, yeah.
That's great. I know that there's some ears in this household that especially enjoy that game. So I'm sure this will be very impressive for them.
Oh, here's another story if you have a second. So I book it, and the game comes out. So I go up to Connecticut and I'm playing the game with my nephew, and I haven't played the game in a long time. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 is way different than Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm playing it and I'm like, they're picking up hookers, they're running people over, they're
all
like
sorts of stuff.
I'm like, God, I'm a horrible uncle. And I can't do this to this kid because he's waiting to hear my voice. And I'm like, let's go. Let's get in the car. I'll drive and get you ice cream. I just can't. This is such a bad role model thing. So we get into the car and I'm driving, and within like 5 minutes, he's like, Philip, drive up the curb, hit that lady. We'll get 700 points. I'm like, dude, this is real life. What are you talking about?
Oh goodness me!
Yeah.
And like for everybody who's on the call today, the list goes on and on. There's NBC, A&E, MTV. You know, just the
Yeah.
major experiences that you've had as a an actor and voiceover specialist. Now that brings me to, I guess, the core of the call. Essentially, is your
Hmm.
voiceover career work and what you're doing at the moment with that industry.
Right. So the way let's say the way it was before COVID,
Mm-hmm.
it was eventually going to go this way. So the way before COVID was your agent would email you a script for a commercial, TV show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You would record it at home. You would email it to your agent, and then your agent would email it to the casting director. And then if the casting director liked you, you'd go in and talk to the casting director. And then if they liked that, then they would book you for the job. And then you go to an engineering studio and record the spot.
Yeah.
And so as soon as COVID came, our agency just had a huge meeting and was like, look, if you're gonna look at it in the most harshest reality, everything's gonna be done from home, at least for a year or two, right? Like just that's just the way it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So I set up my home studio, and then when I set up my home studio, I decided I'm gonna make a website where people can learn how to set up their own home studio, because for a long, long time, we're not going to meet anybody anymore. Like we had meetings where the voiceover actors were like, well, can't I just bring my own microphone? It's sterilized, whatever, and I'll go to the audition. And I was like, you're getting on a subway. You're touching
No,
doorknobs. It's beyond
it's not.
just
Yeah.
going into the casting director's office. And so the other thing was I do like Zoom consultings, and then a lot of the people, because I'm like brutally honest. I'm like, look, I know, because for me anyway, after a while I was like, I'm kind of zoomed out.
Yeah.
So I did these pre-recorded episodes that are 5 minutes long that talk about the process of what you should do at the beginning as far as technique. Then it moves into home studio and blah 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 blah, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And you go to yourvostudio.com and you can buy the episodes and download them and then watch them at your pace. And then if you want to do anything more with me, if you like what I'm doing, then we could do 30-minute consultations and X, Y, and Z. But my main focus for the future was I just see that there's two components. One is it was going to go this way anyway. Like it was just going to go home online. But secondly, now it's a land rush. And whoever gets the good computer and the good microphone and the good setup first is going to make a lot of money, because the people that, if you're like, I was the voice of Toyota. If you're the voice of Toyota now, you're going to be the voice of Toyota for probably 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Because they like your voice. They're not going to look for anybody else. You don't cost them that much. I mean, you get paid what you're going to get paid, but they're not hiring other things, right? They don't need a casting director. They don't need this. They don't need that.
All the overheads.
So, yeah, the overhead's gone. So whatever my fee is from being in the union or whatever is my fee, but there's nothing extra, right? So when I designed the course, I also was like, I want it to be economical, because I used to edit actors' acting reels, and I would do a reel for like $99.
Mm-hmm.
And these editors would be really mad at me, and they'd be like, well, I charge $800. And I'm like, yeah, but if I'm editing this guy's reel for $99 and he books more jobs, he's got to change his reel, which means he's going to need me again, right? So I have a repeat customer. You're doing a one-off, like you made $800, but he ain't coming back because it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
So the deal I have is that 10 episodes are $89. And if you want to do a consultation with me, it's $39. And you also get over 40 scripts just to look at, because a lot of the new people in the voiceover industry, some of them don't even know what a storyboard is, and all these different things. So that I just try to arm you with the right tools. And then again, I still get resistance because they're like, well, you're opening up the pool, right? You're making more competition for yourself. And I'm like, no, there's enough food for everybody to eat,
Yes.
I think.
Yep. The plate's big enough.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be. If why would they allow everybody to audition from home if they didn't realize the amount of volume that they're going to get? And so
Yep.
part of the course also explains, like, when you do get an audition, if you can, and I know it's hard, but if you can, submit it as quickly as you can, not rush the audition itself, but submit it as quickly as you can, because I mean, think of this right now. I'm being interviewed by you, and I haven't checked my email or anything. And then once the interview's over, I'm going to have 10, 15 emails. Now imagine a casting person who's looking for the lead kidnapper for Grand Theft Auto 5, and agents are submitting stuff. After 10 of them, they're going to just pick somebody because they're just going to have so much volume that it's not even worth it. You know what I mean?
Strategy.
So,
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, knowing little things like that are what's really embedded in the course. Is sort of like, it's almost like I had a Zoom session where I was talking to voiceover actors and actors, and I said, I mean, just think of your own mentality, right? Like, think of the fact that if a friend of yours sends you a YouTube video,
Mm-hmm.
you immediately look at how long it's going to be. You could care less what it is.
Yep.
But if it's over 2 minutes, forget about it. Right.
Yep.
It's like, no, but I slipped on a banana peel and I felt, no, I don't care. It's 2 minutes. No. So if that's the human psyche, right? If that's a human condition, it's just super amplified by an agent or a casting director, right? So send me the audition, send me it in a timely fashion, and we'll see what happens, and ultimately, like, it's all out of your control.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how good, like, people spend $6,000, $8,000 in a home studio, and it's like, that doesn't get you the job just because you have a super expensive home studio. I booked to be the voice of the McDonald's lemon in McDonald's Lemonade, right? It was an animated character.
Mm-hmm.
And the lemon was pissed because they're now making strawberry lemonade. So I was like, well, why do you need to add strawberry to me? I'm fine, right? So I book it. I get paid for the recording. It's supposed to go up in 2 weeks. And then nothing happened. So I called my agent. I said, what happened? I thought it was supposed to go national. I thought it was like, one of these big jobs. He said, I don't know. So come to find out, I guess I did such a good job that in one of their focus groups, they were like, he sounds like Steve Shrippa from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Why don't we ask Steve to do it? So within 2 weeks, they had Steve record it and be the lemon. And I was just like, and then listen, here's the lemon salt in the wound. He lives in my neighborhood. I see him jogging all the time. I haven't had the courage to knock him out because he's in the mafia. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, probably wouldn't work out well for anyone involved. This has just been such a great call. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, learning more about you, your stories, and the reasons why you got involved in all of this. Now, I'd love to know when they visit yourvostudio.com, of which I'll make all of the links below this post, no matter where you find this interview, be able to get back to Philip. I'd love to know what is the process if people actually want to work with you closer than that? Is there an opportunity to work at a high level, one-to-one with you, for those who you think have what it takes to be a good voiceover artist?
Yeah. There's 30-minute. There's the when you go to the site that it breaks it down. There's the 10 episode course, and then there's the 30-minute consultations, which you get the first one free.
Yeah.
And so that I can go over what you want to do, so I can customize it.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people, I work with a group of veterans because I had a live theater show, and I used to give them tickets for free to come see it. And then when all this happened, they were like, "Are you doing anything else?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing this, voiceover stuff." And I could, I think you guys would really like to learn how to podcast, not, actually do commercials, but I think you have a voice in what you're doing, and you're technically savvy, so it's not going to be a huge learning curve for me to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a bunch of veterans that are working on different type of podcasts for themselves, and I have other clients that they want to do books on tape, and then others that just want to do video games or animation. So once I can kind of sit down and figure out what you want to do, then I can sort of custom tailor a plan. And if any of your listeners want to take advantage of my offer,
Mm-hmm.
just when they contact me through the website or my email, just mention the word future, and I'll know they came from your show, and I'll give them a deal.
Excellent. Well, look, everybody, you just heard it straight from Philip. If you want to get involved and get yourself a good deal, mention future when you touch base with Philip. Again, Philip, this has just been a magical call. There are so many dimensions to voice-over artistry. It is an art. It's something that needs to be learned. It's not something that everybody's gifted with, and I know that you're the person to help them either recognize that there's something in this for them or to maybe pass on this offer. So with that all being said, again, such a wonderful call, a privilege. Thank you so very much for spending some time with me on the My Future Business show today. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.